Hey Reflectors! Thanks for joining me today on Desert Mage for your weekly intuitive reading. Just as a refresher, if you're new to the channel, my intuitive readings are based on your human design type. If you are not sure what your human design type is, please check in the information box below to find your type. It's 1 of 5. And if you're a reflector, then this reading is for you. Alright, let's kick things off. I have started with one rune, Faery. It is the rune of possessions and nourishment. It talks about your achievement, kudos to you, success, progress, something coming to fruition, rewards for a job well done, and finding nourishment in both the physical, material world as well as spiritual, in a spiritual sense. It's asking you to reconnect with what you value most, as we are all spending more time indoors, inside, a bit isolated. And we are also finding some maybe financial constraints, possibly. I hope not, but if you are, it's a great time to review what in your life is not serving you. What have you placed emphasis on before that in this new place you find yourself in, it doesn't really matter anymore. You can let it go. It doesn't feel important. Finding where you get your nourishment. Where are you fed? Where are you inspired? And that becomes, your new list of things to focus on and your new priorities. You don't have to hold on to all those old things. Next, I pulled 4 cards from my Wildwood Tarot deck, and each of those I paired with a Clarifier card from my Faery Oracle deck. So the first to come out is the 8 of Bows, the Hearthfire. You can see everyone's gathering around the fire, they're celebrating, imbibing. It's a joyous time. So this makes me think about maybe you're spending some extra time with family, even if it's not in, maybe you work a lot or you travel a lot and that has all come to a halt and you're able to spend more time with your partner or your friend or your roommate, your children, and you're finding that it's really nourishing and enjoyable, and you're really taking more time for yourself to take care of you. It feels really warm, and there is this giving and receiving. So you're feeling this warmth from being around these people, and you're adding a lot to them. You're giving them a feeling of calm or of fun when they need that infusion because of everything that's going on. It feels really good for all parties. And even though you're somebody who needs enough alone time and enough people time, this is feeling really good to you right now. The Clarifier card here is the Sage, which I think, and this might not be you enjoying time with these people in person. Maybe you are on a video conference or on the telephone and you're talking to them more than you normally would, and it's really fun and playful, and you feel closer than you have in a long time, and that feels really good. And this card talks about sharing sharing wisdom, sharing knowledge, and knowing when to let go and when to move on. So we're in a time right now where we need to think about not being in control. We are not driving this bus. We are not steering the ship. We need to be going with the flow, but we need to find the freedom in doing that instead of freaking out that everything isn't as usual. So you're finding a lot of enjoyment with discussing this with other people and maybe sharing your ideas of why it's working for you and why it feels good to you. And it's surprising that something good is coming out of this. The next card out is Rebirth, the 8 of Vessels. You know, cups in the traditional tarot can talk about emotional fulfillment. It can also talk about emotional release. Here, as we're talking about knowing when to let go, it's interesting because when we let go, we make space for something new. So this rebirth is allowing you to learn from the past and move forward. Understand how to move forward. You're gaining new wisdom and you're seeing potential and possibilities where other people are seeing obstacles. This is really important because you make up a very small but important fraction of the population. If everyone else is in doom and gloom and like nothing is going to move forward and nothing's ever going to get better and we don't know how to adjust or adapt, that can feel like panic and fear. And if you're not playing into that, if you're finding the good and the fun in it and you're bringing your wisdom into the situation, you're bringing something new to the table. You're seeing how good things can be when everyone else just can't get there yet. That's super important. You're a leader in this movement to our new existence, our new world. Good on you. So the card that clarifies the rebirth is the undressing of a salad. I think this is one of the funniest fairy cards. So if you really think about it, let's say you have one of those salad shakers where you put all the spinach and the kale and whatever you've got in your salad and you put the dressing in and you shake it up so it gets evenly distributed. How are you going to undress a salad? It is a really big challenge. So this card is about achieving the impossible. So with your new approach to things, with your perspective, you're helping other people to see what is possible. That even when we feel stuck and in limbo, suspended in life, or even free falling, you can easily switch that perspective and adapt and move into something new. What is coming to you right now, these inspirations and insights, is really important. You might add the perfect ingredient, the perfect spark, the idea to get something new going that works not just for you, but for your family, for your community, for the greater good. And I'm just going to show the next two cards that came out together. This is the card of healing, the 7 of Stones. Seven of Stones. And I think this is you. I think this is you in meditation, and this is what you're adding to the collective. You are getting downloads of this new information, new ideas, but also truth. The Clarifier card is Sylvanus. When we have swords involved, this talks about like cutting through the brush, the mess of it all. It's getting down to it. It's being clear. And removing this mask, it talks about revealing truth, breaking down illusions. If you're tapping into this higher knowledge, and you're sharing that wisdom with others, this is really healing. It's healing for you because you're using your gift, and it's healing for others. You're giving them hope, and you're giving them inspiration to follow your lead, to do it in their own way, but to know that they can move forward too. The next card out is the Spark of Life. The Spark of Life, it begins with this bow drill. This came out in the last reading I did for manifesting generators. Interesting. The Spark of Life. Spark of Life. I think it comes to us, the spark of creativity and inspiration comes to us when we don't expect it. I know for me, when I've been put in very challenging situations and unconventional situations, especially when, maybe you show up for a job or a project and you misplace the tools you normally have, or you go on a trip but somehow you left half of what you're going to put in your luggage at home. It just somehow you forgot. You swear you put it in there, but it never made it. And so now you know what you need to do. You know what is necessary, but you don't have the normal tools to do it. So you're adapting and you're getting creative. I love those situations. Those are huge growth moments and huge moments for you to come up with new solutions and then pat yourself on the back for how you navigated that situation. So you're helping others to navigate what's going on. And the card that this is paired with came out in reverse. This is Indy. Indy is super indecisive. He's like, on the one hand, this, but on the other hand, this. He's always needing others to help him make his decision for him, lacks clarity. In this situation, though, I think it's talking about how you're having all of this like influx of energy come in, and you need to be able to collect it and to integrate it before you make a decision or commit. So you're gathering intel before you act on it. I think that's what this is about. So overall, I think, if we go back to this, a lot is coming in for you. And you're finding success and nourishment where maybe you didn't expect it. you didn't expect to thrive at this point, or you didn't expect to contribute as much as you are at this point, but you are. And you're finding nourishment, but you're giving nourishment and you're giving inspiration. And now it's just the time of like, stay calm, let it all come to you, let it flow through you, share it with others. And then soon it will be time to put steps into place to move on those things. And that's exciting. So I think you're going to play a huge role in how, in one way or another, whether you have an idea for a project or you're adapting how you bring in your financial security, or how you, maybe the dynamics of your family are changing and you're really innovating, you're really healing that by finding out what really matters to you, what you really value, and adapting in that way. So I hope this reading resonates with you. I'd love to hear what's going on, and if you relate to this, please share in the comments below. And I hope to see you next Thursday. Thank you.